somewhere in the desert, in the Mojave Desert, right? And we went in and we bought rice and lentils and salt. And we made some kitchery, you know, some spices. It was so salty that for the next 4,000 miles, we only drank milkshakes. So that's what I mean. If you sit down with too much will, you know, I'm going to do this, I'm going to sit like, I'm going to, you're just kidding yourself. Do a little bit every day. But every day is really important. Every day. Or at least 364 out of 365. Take a day off, okay? All right, today's the day off. And tomorrow too. So a little bit where you really pay attention, where you're not doing anything else. You actually turn your phone off for 5 minutes. What could happen? Really, unless you're a doctor on call at the emergency ward, what could happen in 5 minutes? Right? Whatever it is. You'll be sitting there wondering about it for 5 minutes. Just notice the wondering, and you'll be doing fine. So, you know, Maharaji, my guru, he never, you know, he was very, he didn't tell us what to do. He didn't give us practices to do. He didn't say, sit down, watch your breath. He didn't say, do 10 million mantras. He didn't say, do this, do that. You know, he led us into the room where love lives. And we tasted what love really feels like, what it could be, unconditional love, what that is. And then we ourselves booted ourselves out of the room. And then we had to find a way back in. And so many of the people who were with him found different ways to live, doing different things in life. But all those people are very dedicated to living in that loving presence, which is a quality of our own true being. Loving presence. Everything we're looking for outside is really already in there. And we know what it is. But we don't know where to look or how to look. How to look is really the question. And you start by paying attention, by slowly pulling yourself back from all the crazy shit that goes on in our heads 24/7. Just for a few minutes a day. It'll make a tremendous difference. And then you go live your life and be stupid. It doesn't matter. Then just a few minutes a day. After a while, you get used. You start to like that feeling of releasing and just being there. You start to look forward to that. And you begin to notice the stuff in your life that doesn't contribute to that. And then you start making choices based on that understanding that, well, you know, this is just going to create more bullshit. And so you do something else. You don't even realize it, but your whole life is starting to change around your desire to live in a more relaxed, open way. It just happens naturally. You can't plan it. It just happens. Because this is what we really want. If we really knew that we could have what we want, how different we would live. How differently the quality of our lives would unfold. Right? But we don't really believe. We don't really think anything. We do yoga, meditation, all this crap, but you don't think it's going to work. Come on. Come on. Tell the truth. Oh, yeah, I'm going to get calmed down. Okay, I'll get the best button on the east side. Okay, the upper east side. Okay, the 10 blocks over there, I'll have the best button. But we don't really think we're going to get happy. You know, that would be sinful. That we really believe that. It's scary. It's scary to be happy. You think, okay, now what? I'm happy. How bad is the crash going to be? You know? Well, you know, this is the mind. This is what our thoughts do to us. So by repeating these names, by doing a practice, first of all, while we're doing the practice, we're not robbing banks. We're not beating people up, except ourselves probably. There's a lot of things we aren't doing while we're doing a practice. And while we are doing the practice, we're planting these seeds of the repetition of the name, and the name is a direct reflection of that place within us. These names come from within. That's what they say. They come from within. They've been revealed to us here in this world by people who have experienced what they really are. And they tell us, here, do this, it'll bring you there. So there's people who have done this, and they've achieved what we would like to achieve. And you can meet these people. They exist, you know. The Dalai Lama was just here last week. Just to be in the room with them is an extraordinary experience. You can't, it's a blessing to meet people like that, because we don't see this every day, you know. And when we meet people like that, we go, wow, you know. And they say, if I can do it, you can do it. They never claim to be special. That's the thing. The real ones never claim to be special. He calls himself a simple monk. Right. I mean, I understand what he's saying, but he's also who he is. And it ain't so simple. Or it's completely simple. Simple monk, you know. So, yeah, unless we see it, we don't believe it. So it takes getting used to living in a way that, living with the understanding that we can get what we want in life. We can be happy. It's unbelievable. All right, so any questions or anything like that? It doesn't have to be a formal question. It could just be something you want to talk about.
I wanted to know if you relate the sounds to symbols at all, or shapes.
Shapes and symbols. Mm-hmm. No. I just sing. You know, it's very simple. I'm a simple guy. I sing. And I sleep, and I eat, and I do a few other things. And when I sing, I just sing. I don't think about anything. I don't visualize anything. I don't think about sound, yoga of sound, which is a very deep practice. And mantras and mandalas and all kinds of, those are all yogic tantric practices. But, you know, I'm too busy singing. It's all good stuff, but you know, I just don't have time for that. I don't even have time to study music. I'm too busy singing. Because when you find what works for you, whatever that is, yeah, that's it. You lose interest in other things in a good way, because you found something that nourishes you and is that you believe in, you know. And so everything else kind of falls away sooner or later. So the answer is no. I don't think about those things, and I don't know anything about them either. So. That was great. Good. Very informative. No, I don't know anything about that. Ask me something else.
You said somewhere that the chant remembers you.
Could you use the mic.
You said somewhere that the chant remembers you. So,
yeah.
Which I thought was nice, but what did you mean by that?
When I remember, I'll tell you. What I mean is, once you start doing this practice, the chants kind of go on by themselves sometimes. And you'll be driving along, and all of a sudden you notice inside you're singing Sri Ram Jai Ram. And you don't know, you didn't like make a decision, okay, now I'll sing Sri Ram Jai Ram. You notice that you've been singing it for the last 10 minutes without realizing it. So it starts to go on inside of you all the time. And the more it goes on, the more it pulls you into yourself. But this is a very subtle practice. It's not, you know, the part of when we all get together and sing and jump up and down and look stupid, that's all fine. But what's going on is very deep and very subtle. And the changes that happen are they're kind of off the radar. You don't get a chance to kind of like, oh, wow, you know, yeah, look what's happening, because you don't want to be that person. Right? So it keeps on going. So that's what I mean when the chant starts remembering you. You'll be doing stuff, and then you see, oh, it's going on. Like I'll wake up in the morning, and the chant's going on before I even, and I'll be laying there for X amount of time before I even realize that's what's happening. And it's like that, and that's all good. It's all good. And that's a benefit. That's one of the things that starts to happen. Because if that's going on, by the way, then there's a lot of things that can't be going on, like obsessive, crazy thinking and all kinds of stuff that take us to all kinds of places, right? And we don't want to go to those places because they're painful. So as this practice gets deeper, we just don't go to a lot of those places where we used to live, you know, or we used to love to go, because they turn out to be painful. So we wind up spending less time in negative states of mind. But you don't necessarily notice that. That's the cool part about it. If you noticed it, then you just do a big ego trip on it. Wow, I'm spending less time in negative states of mind. I must be very high. You know, bullshit, you know. So you don't, it doesn't, that's why chanting is so cool, because you don't think you're meditating. You don't sit there like, I'm meditating. No, you're just singing, you know? But it is meditation. It is spiritual practice. So, any more about that? You're welcome.
For you, do Hindu chants awaken different than Buddhist ones or Sufi?
You know, there's just me in here. It's only me. Nobody else. And they all awaken the same me. They don't awaken somebody else. They all work inside of me the same way. I once said to my Indian father, Mr. Tiwari, I said, who is greater, Shiva or Vishnu? You know, I thought it was a reasonable question in some spheres. He looked at me like I was crazy. He said, my boy. He said, how can you compare infinites, right? It don't work. They're all the same, you know. Sometimes you like pasta with tomato sauce, sometimes with pesto, same shit. No matter. Not at all. Do what gets you off, you know? That's what you do. Whatever you like, whatever gets you through the night, that's it. You're the only one who knows what works for you, you know? Unless you're with a particular kind of teacher who gives you a practice that you decide to do, and then you have to go through that whole process. Sometimes it'll feel like shit, sometimes it'll feel good, sometimes you think it's not working, but you're working with that teacher, so he's going to guide you in the best way for you. But right here, we're just hanging out, so the only one to ask is yourself, is this working? Do I like this? If you don't like it, why would you do it? You know?
Can you hear me if I ask a question?
Where are you? Oh, there, hi. Oh, you don't have the mic. You can't talk.
Can you hear me?
Give her the mic, she's pushy. Whoa. Yeah, you see? That's
Okay.
good. Okay. Hi,
Since-
how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Good.
I haven't seen you in a long time. Since you've been traveling around, all this since I haven't seen you since the old days and all, and now you're off all over the world, I just wondered if you'd had any really interesting stories or story to share about bringing this into other culture, or, you know, being in some exotic, faraway place. I kind of like those stories where the epiphany of cultures mixing and...
Everywhere I go, it's the same people. You know, it's exactly the same. That's the amazing part, you know. I'm in Kiev, right? Talking to a group of Ukrainian people. And it's the same stuff, same questions, the same stuff, everything. You know, it's just so weird. And it's such a great experience to just go everywhere and just find everybody wants the same thing. Everybody has the same problems. You know? It's just amazing. Really amazing. Everybody has their own version of stuff to deal with, you know. I sang in Sarajevo, right? And in the building I sang in, there was a plexiglass hole in the wall, right? A huge hole from a shell, you know. Sarajevo was under siege for like 10 years. The Serbs had surrounded the town around in the mountains, and for 10 years they lobbed shells in all day, and they had snipers. You couldn't go out, you couldn't get food, you had no electricity, no water. Half the buildings were destroyed. It was just extraordinary, and the people were so great, you know, so beautiful. But there you are, sitting, singing, and you're looking out, and you're going, you know, what is that? You know, that's what shell. They left that so they could remember what it was like. It's amazing. So many experiences like it.
Just wanted to know if you remembered the words from Blind Faith.
Uh-huh.
The word, I think not Blind, is it called Blind Faith or Book
You
of?
mean Presence of the Lord by
Huh?
Blind Faith? Blind
Yeah,
Faith's the
the
group.
first, the one, or the second?
I have finally found a way to live, you know, just like I never did before. Yeah, it's a great song. I sang that once in LA, really stupidly. Huh?
Not today.
Not today, no. Because he was talking about heroin. You know that, right? What are you going to do? It's a good song anyway, even without heroin. Might be better with heroin. I have no idea. But I couldn't tell you about that part of it.
The question is, you know, when I grew up with the idea of God as kind of being watching over me, or, you know, protecting me, or if I did this, then God will do this, you know, all that kind of stuff.
I always wonder how they know that.
Well, you know,
Okay,
so,
go ahead.
well, I don't know, but now, is that kind of going away in place of creating good karma? Is that
Yeah, you know, not really. You know, when you talk about creating good karma, you're not doing that because you're afraid of bad karma. It's not a guilt, shame, fear kind of thing. You know, one time a bunch of Christian ministers went to visit the Dalai Lama, and they were having great talks. And one of them said, "Your Holiness, what's your understanding of sin?" Right? And he's kind of thought about it for a second, then he said, "It's kind of a Christian thing, isn't it?" Whoa. Can you imagine? He doesn't live in a world where he's afraid of that he's sinned and he's evil and he has to make up for it. There's nothing like that in his head. Karma's not about sin. The word for sin in Sanskrit, Hindi, is pap, which means burning. It's not evil, it's not bad, it's just hot. You know? You do stuff that burns. And when you don't do stuff that burns, you don't burn. It's not that you're bad or doing bad things and you're a bad person and you have to do good because you're bad and you're going to be punished. And we're already punished. We're here. In Manhattan. You saw Escape from New York, didn't you? We're in here. We're here. So yeah, this is what religions have come to, in many ways, what they're doing. It's about controlling people. Why? Because they want money. Why? Because they want power. Why? Because they get off on that shit. And it's a shame, but that's what it's come to. Not that there's not a lot of good stuff also, and good people as religious figures and stuff like that, but for the most part, you find that it's a very controlling atmosphere. This new pope is fantastic. He's cleaning a lot of stuff out. seems very cool. But the whole thing is built on shame and fear and guilt, you know? And if you go to the East, is not like that, you know? It's not like that at all. It's so-called Eastern religion. The first book I ever read about this stuff was some book about Buddhism, and Buddha said, you know, it was up to us to work out our own enlightenment. And I thought, fantastic. Not that I thought I could, but at least it wasn't up to somebody else, right? That I'm already fucked before I start. Right? This is the Kali Yuga. This is what they call the Dark Ages, because and one of the qualities of this time is that the real light is hidden so deeply. It's so covered. And the other things masquerade as the light, like that stuff, you know. First of all, I have no problem with Jesus. I love Jesus. Praise the Lord, I love Jesus. I do not love Christianity. And neither did Jesus. He had nothing to do with that shit. If I'm not mistaken, he was already dead 100 years before anybody started doing anything. So how did this happen? People with ideas, with desires, created all that nonsense. He didn't start a religion. He was trying to clean up the old shit that was hanging around. So those feelings are it's good to see them, and it's good to see how much of a hold they have on us, and how much of our lives are propelled by our sense of shame and guilt and fear and belief that we're no good, right? It's really, so when you sit down and watch your breath or do some chanting, there's just you there. There's nobody else, just you. You see, then you begin to see all the things you unconsciously believe about yourself. That's when you have a chance to start letting go of that stuff. It's not easy because it's deep. Because it's not just us, it's our parents, their parents, their parents. Everybody we've ever known believes the same stuff. Not so many people have come through that say, hey, it's okay in there. Don't worry so much. What's the matter? Right? Not so many people. They always say, oh, be careful. And we just unconsciously accept all that. And none of it's true. Not one thing about it is true. Nothing. You're not evil. You're not bad. You don't need to be saved. But only Jesus can save you. Because he's the whole universe. He's Krishna. He's Ram. He's everybody. They're all the same. Only that light, your own inner light, can save you. Because that's clear and clean and completely free of all that nonsense that comes from the outside. So when you sit and do practice, it's just you in there. There's nobody else in there. And you begin to see all the stuff that's hanging off of you, right? You just slice it off, you know. But it comes back. Cut it again. It comes back. You have to practice. They call it practice for a good reason. It's not easy to get used to being happy. It is not easy. It's like scary. You wake up and you're happy and you go, I must have done something wrong. I'm happy. It's crazy. We're used to living in a very low frequency, low energy field. Cranky, miserable, moping around, groping for food and sex and stuff. We forget it's all in there. It doesn't have to be so New York-like. Everywhere I go, people say, oh, you're from New York, right? So, and all the great saints say the same thing. Jesus said the same thing. Read what Jesus, and okay, here we go. I've gotten started. And then I'm stopping. I read a book written by a guy, I can't remember the name right now. He had been brought up as a born-again Christian. He grew up that way. And he loved the Bible so much that as a teenager, he started to study Aramaic, which was the original language that all that stuff was in, because he really wanted to know what was in the Bible, because what the born-again Christians believe is that if God said it, that's the way it is, right? And they say everything in the Bible is what God said, and that's the way it is. That's what they believe. So he said, well, let me really study this. So he became one of the leading scholars of language and Aramaic in the world. And he found, and this, I swear this is true, he found that only 3% of what is in today's Bible can be traced linguistically to the time of Jesus. I'm going to say that again. 3% of what is in what we call, at least the New Testament, can linguistically be proven to come from the time of Jesus. That other 97%, God knows where it came from. So what are these people believing, right? It's a very interesting question. There's some really cool stuff being done. There's a book. Anyway, but so you got, the bottom line is it's just you in there, right? See what's screwing you up and let go. Don't believe any of that shit. You're not bad. Tell them I said so. Don't tell them where I live, please. And my guru was the same way. You know, he knew everything. Okay? I'm going to say that again. He knew everything. Certainly everything about me and everybody else that was there. He knew what we had done, what we were thinking about doing, and what we were going to do. He knew what was going to happen in our lives. He knew all the bad, miserable, hurtful things we've done to others and ourselves. And guess what? He loved us insanely, sweetly, unconditionally, just as we are. He didn't make a deal with us. If you change, he'll love us. Right? He loved us right at that moment, completely, knowing everything we've ever done, knowing everything we thought about ourselves. Also, that was hard to take. Really, it was hard to, you know, you say, oh, I wish I was with the guru. Bullshit. You think it's easy to sit in front of that? Can you go out and sit in front of the sun all day like this, you know? You get fried. And that's what it was like 90% of the time. Frying in that love, in that intensity. And then just when you thought you couldn't take 1 second more, boom, he hits you in the heart with a banana from 50 feet away. And he looks and he goes, ah! And all of a sudden the world is good again. Until you pull yourself out of it with your own crap. Over and over, over and over and over. So we began to understand a little bit, to experience what it felt like not to be ruled by the stories we tell ourselves about ourselves, which we automatically believe, every single one of them. You know, you wake up in the morning and you say, I feel like shit today. You never ask yourself, why do I feel like shit? Or why do I believe I feel like shit? We just, it's there, we think it, and we believe it. But so only through practice do you slow down enough to see what's actually going on. And once you see it, then you can let go and come back. And when that mantra is going on, when the names are going on, when your practice deepens, you might get pulled by that thought for a little while, and then, boop, you pop back a lot faster. And instead of spending the next 47 lifetimes feeling like that, you just spend the next 3 lifetimes feeling like that. It's a big difference. So instead of some very heavy negative depression lasting, you know, years and months, and so it just lasts a little while and then it goes away because you're trained to automatically let go. But you don't necessarily feel that at the moment, you see? You're just letting go. People say to me all the time, oh, what do you experience when you're chanting? I say, I don't know. How would I know? You're asking me? I have no idea I'm just singing. I'm not thinking about what I'm experiencing. Something happens, it comes, it goes. I'm just singing. My job is to be with that chant 100%. And if I'm 100%, stuff goes through like Chinese food. Like Indian food, really. Much faster than Chinese food. They stopped using MSG, so it doesn't go through as fast. And when it goes through, you're not hanging on to it. You're just with this feeling of being here. And the stuff, it's like you become the sky, and the clouds are going through. It doesn't seem to affect you so much. So you're moving more deeply into yourself. You're relaxing more deeply into being here.
So if you're really chanting from the heart and with love, is there really such a thing as doing it incorrectly? Like
As
as doing it incorrectly?
no. When you're really chanting from the heart with love, you're not thinking about it. You know, how can they be incorrect? You're repeating the name. My guru said repeat it when you're angry, when you're tired, when you're feeling nasty, when you're feeling good. Do it all the time. If you don't do it, nothing's going to happen. So there's no wrong way. The name in itself is inherently good. And the practice is inherently good. There's no negative side to it. Good. Go see them. You know, sometimes I can call you honey, sometimes sweetie pie. You're going to answer, right? You don't think God knows what his name is? If you and I know our names, he knows his name. She knows his name, her name, right? So it's your motivation. That's the most important thing. Now, that being said, this is a particular practice called Nama Sankirtan, the repetition of the names of God, okay? These are not, there's other kinds of mantras you can say which need to be pronounced correctly because there's Sanskrit mantras and they're for certain things. There's mantras to find buried treasure. There's mantras to rob banks. There's mantras to become powerful. There's mantras to grow your hair back, which is, I've never found that mantra, but I know it's out there somewhere. There's mantras to attract things to yourself. All mantras can be used for everything, anything. Those mantras need to be done correctly. And those mantras need to be given to you by somebody who transmits it to you. This is not the case in what we're doing. What we're doing is we are turning ourselves towards our own inner being, the love that lives within us already, period. It's the simplest practice in the world. It's one of the deepest practices in the world. And you can't do it wrong because you're already here. Ultimately, what you experience is your own true nature. So, you know? So, that's not to be worried about. But if you want a mantra to, you know, make sure that you catch the subway train every day, that has to be transmitted to you by somebody, and you need to say it correctly. Or you will never catch a train again the rest of your life. So that's why I don't do those mantras, because I fuck them up. But if you're working with a teacher, you should do what that teacher says, right? You know, because out of respect for the practice and for the relationship you have with that person. If they say do it this way, do it that way. That's why I tell anybody, do whatever the hell you want. Then you don't have to bother me. And you find your own way. That's the thing. That's the beautiful thing about it. You know, really, Maharaji never, you think Maharaji said, go forth and spread the name of God to the masses. No, he never said anything like that. Which is why I had to figure this out for myself, you know. I had to
Welcome to
Rhetoric Buds. Wow,
Chris
that's
is our-
sounding more and more perverted every episode.
We have a guest too, Chris.
Get more
Say hi.
comfortable.
Yeah, I'm here as well.
Welcome, Chris Webb.
Thank you guys. You guys couldn't hear that, people who were listening, because they just gave me a full standing ovation for being
Of
here.
course. Especially me, the person in a wheelchair. I gave you the standing ovation.
I
You
would
can stand.
I can on certain occasions, special occasions.
also
You do
you're-
stand-up comedy,
Yeah, and
correct?
you're chairless right now.
I'm gonna start doing sit down comedy. I think I'm gonna start doing a stool like Mark Maron.
I feel
You're
like
like
that's like,
Chris.
You're not a
Yeah.
bionic human
Yeah.
right now. Do you feel exposed?
Pretty much.
I was gonna say, if you do like sit down comedy on a stool, that's like prop comedy,
Indeed.
and that's like the lowest form of comedy.
Do you agree with that, Cody?
What is
Prop
sit down?
comedy,
Prop
lowest form of
comedy.
comedy.
Oh, that's a lot of people say prop comedy is a low form. Yeah. I don't know if I agree.
What comedians immediately come to mind when you think prop
You,
comedy?
you can't do it all the time.
Carrot
That's
Top.
why.
Carrot Top.
Gallagher.
You can't do it all the time.
What's his name? Jeff
Jeff
Dunham, the
Dunham.
guy with the puppets.
Yeah, ventriloquism though.
It's different,
It's
but
kind of different.
It's a niche.
Have you seen local
does
comedian
need a
Sam
prop.
Benty do prop comedy?
yeah, I think he does.
I
good
don't
prop
think
comedy.
I have.
Oh,
He-
no?
He actually.
He's done in some
Yeah.
very intelligent prop comedy.
Yeah, so
I
there's
think.
one joke he has where he
Seen
like
it.
he's like, yeah, prop comedy is the lowest form of comedy. Here's a list of reason why, and he like unrolls a toilet paper roll,
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
and that joke gets me every time.
Oh yeah.
So
that's
maybe
a
it's
good
not the lowest form, but it's definitely like you have to be able to do it well.
Well, instruments in general could be a prop.
It was big in the 90s.
Yeah.
Musical comedy, though, like an instrument can be a prop if you're not actually playing it.
Right. That
If
too.
you're playing a song, then it's no longer a prop.
It's not prop,
Yeah, and it's
true.
different because like there's like some
It's
really
musical
bad
comedy.
musical comics, but there's like obviously Bo
Weird
Burnham.
Al.
Yeah, Weird Al, exactly. I've actually got a Bo Burnham tattoo, so I have to,
Oh,
have
yeah?
to defend my boy.
Oh, he's yeah.
Where's
he's a
that
musical
located?
comedy.
That's located on my left bicep, so
Your
the
left
weakest
bicep. Okay.
Wow.
And
I
it's
was
a picture
expecting
of
like a
a-
tramp stamp, maybe.
Oh no, it's a picture of a house on fire. and
Tell
it
us all
says-
your tattoos.
Says don't panic.
How
You wanna
many
hear my
tattoos do you have?
Yeah, and
I've
tell
got
us all of them.
7.
Seven.
tattoos.
Okay.
Were
Tell
they
us what they are.
pleasurable or did they hurt?
I don't know about you guys, but like when I get a tattoo, like immediately afterwards, it's like the best feeling ever. But during
Wow.
the tattoo, kind of sucks.
I want to hear all 7.
Okay, so I've got. I'll go real quick. I've got Peru on my left forearm because I was born in Peru. I've got, as I said, the house on fire for Bo Burnham up on my left bicep. On my right forearm, I've got Saturn because Saturn's a cool planet. On my right shoulder, I've got the moon, and they kind of screwed it up a little bit because the moon kind of looks like it has a butthole.
Whoa.
But it's a meaningful one. That one's for my fiance. We met on a half moon, so I like went back to the day, found the moon and everything, got that done. I've got a Snorlax, which is a Pokemon, on my right leg. I've got a tree on my left leg and a volcano on my right leg.
Damn. Where's the swastika?
Nice work.
I
Wait, what?
Under the Peru.
Peru. Okay.
Okay, I thought we were talking
Okay.
about politics.
So,
well, that's not.
Chris, we're gonna do a segment called Check-In. So I just wanted to ask you 2 emotions that you're kind of feeling right now, or just maybe
We'll
lately
go-
on average. We're gonna go clockwise. Maybe we'll have Billy start off to show you how it's done.
Okay.
And then we'll go clockwise around.
Sweet.
Should have brought up. The
Yeah, we should have
feelings
brought up the
wheel.
thing. How are we gonna do without that?
I'll bring it up on my phone here.
Okay.
Cool.
Okay.
So
yeah,
just stall a little
So
bit.
usually
Intro
we
more,
have
more
a
intro.
usually we have a graphic on screen with.
What does the graphic look like to you?
The graphic is an emotion wheel. It's a circle that has different emotions categorized into different subjects, but you can choose whatever ones you want. You can choose opposite spectrum emotions as well, including mad and horny, which Cody often does.
I don't think horny was on there.
Cody
All right.
often does that.
Yeah. So
Anger is
But
the
yeah.
best one. Yeah.
this one has aroused, cheeky, free, joyful,
Okay.
curious, inquisitive. These are
Aroused.
all. So this is a very highly detailed.
I hope
one.
you're memorizing all of these emotions.
No, I'm gonna pass the phone
like
around,
a
no
psychopath.
worries.
All right.
You practice your facial expressions in the mirror as well. Man face, sad face.
No, you know, when I first started comedy, I did actually.
Really?
I practiced like the mouth.
Check.
Away
Testing.
we go.
Yo.
Cody, you want to test?
Test. What was the last thing that was said? Can you skip ahead to that?
Well, he's doing a test first.
Oh, I was.
How's it going, everyone? It's Chris Whip here.
All right. Well, so we're going to get into the, or should we start
No, that was
No,
that's
let's
That's good.
let's just get into it from right here.
I like that start that you
we have
just
to
started with.
backtrack, but
That
Well,
was
we don't have to backtrack a lot.
That was good energy.
Why don't we start? I'm gonna say 3, 2,
That was
1.
good
let's start
energy.
on Cody's check-in.
I like Billy's intro. It was good.
What was it?
I don't know. You just started talking.
Well, we were getting into, we had a bit of a technical difficulty, but we were getting into the feelings wheel
Yeah.
and doing a check-in around. Does everybody remember their
Yes. Maybe
Yeah.
the universe just wanted to give us a little time to.
reflect on
Yeah.
what we had chosen?
Yeah,
So,
I like that.
Chris, our guest, do you want to go first?
Absolutely. The two feelings I'm feeling, I said, I'm tired, right?
Oh.
Obviously, daylight savings was yesterday.
Tired, yeah.
I woke up super early, didn't really get a lot of sleep. So I'm
Tell
definitely
us your
tired.
whole life story, Chris. How about your
Please.
just two feelings
That's
for
an
now?
emotion.
Okay.
Yeah, tired.
And then my other feeling is eager. I'm eager. for
Eager?
this.
All right.
Excited.
Cody, two feelings.
Vulnerable and sad.
Okay.
All right. Mine were hopeful and energetic.
Nice.
Mine was playful and inquisitive.
Inquisitive, yeah.
Inquisitive.
Okay,
Okay,
yeah.
cool.
Everyone remembered it.
Play-
All right.
good
Well,
job.
Chris, do you want to dive into those a little bit? Why you chose those emotions?
Absolutely. I kind of got ahead of myself before.
No
I guess,
problem.
I guess I was eager.
That's why you
there
chose
go.
it.
Yeah,
Hey,
yeah,
chose
yeah.
correctly.
Yeah.
Eager
But
beaver.
No, I'm eager. You know, I'm excited to be here. I've wanted to be on the pod for a while now. And
Welcome to the
I'm tired,
pod.
obviously. Daylight savings was yesterday. Didn't get a lot of sleep. But
You remember?
I'm excited. I'm excited, you know. Yeah, that's kind of why I'm feeling how I'm feeling.
Okay.
Caden's kind of like the commander of the podcast.
Cody, why do you feel sad and lonely? Was it? What was the second one?
Vulnerable.
Vulnerable. Okay.
Yeah.
And where's that coming from?
Well, the technical difficulties. Oh, maybe I wasn't close enough. My bad.
Yeah, you're not.
Sorry, I gotta hug this mic. The technical difficulties in my head were worse. So far, they've been okay, so it's fine. But in my head, none of this was gonna work. So I was feeling exposed.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Well, then this is going well for you. Then.
True.
This
I'm
is-
on the up
You can
swing. Yeah,
Yeah,
I
you're
think I'm
definitely
coming
on
up.
the upswing.
Yeah.
You're on your way up.
On the up and up. As they say.
Emotionally, I could recover by the end of the cast.
Okay.
Okay.
And Billy, if you're available, what's
Available.
what's your take on yours?
Well, I was hopeful and energetic.
Hopeful.
Hopeful
That the
hopefully this
microphone's
is
working. What do
all
you?
going, yeah.
Yeah.
I do have a battery light I see now already
Oh.
from the batteries I just put in.
Oh,
that's
another
okay.
light. Yeah.
But yeah,
These might all
hopeful.
just be
If it
exclusive.
dies,
behind the
we're gonna take
scenes,
apart the
clips
fire
on the Patreon.
alarm.
It's all right.
I mean, if it dies, we can just stop where we're at and
Yeah.
be like, oh, we're
No
cutting down
pressure.
The
this.
No
fire
pressure.
alarm has batteries that
By
would
take
work
40,
perfect.
we'll have this dialed.
Yeah.
Okay, but hopeful. I like it.
Or
yeah,
sooner.
and energetic. Want to just go, go,
Yeah,
go.
you are. That's kind of in your nature, energetic.
Sounds like you snorted something.
How many days of the week are you not energetic? Like one?
One and a half.
You take a day off, kind of thing.
Yeah, and then I'm
Nice.
a bit lazy on
Yeah.
sometimes.
Sleeping.
When you take the insulin.
Today I couldn't wake up. I set an alarm for 8:30. I was up till like 2 something,
Oh.
2:30 maybe,
Yeah.
and then I set an alarm for 8:30, and I think I woke up around like 10.
Yeah, well, with that time change, that's like 4 hours of sleep.
Are you guys nappers? Do you guys nap?
Oh, I love napping.
I used to a lot. I was a
Yeah.
big morning napper. Like I'd wake up at
Yeah.
6 a.m. and then
Caden, what about you?
nap at 10 a.m.
Yeah, I'm against napping.
You're anti?
I'm anti-napping.
Why? It's so fantastic feeling.
It is, especially when you wake up and you don't
When
know
you
what
wake
time
up
it is.
from like 20 minutes and this
Yeah.
is, you can't remember for the last 12 hours, it feels like.
Yeah.
You don't like that feeling? Why?
Anti.
Explain yourself.
It's just the movement. That's all I'm gonna say.
Oh, you like to just be up once you're up?
Huh?
Napping.
I like that.
Oh.
When I wake up in the morning, I
You're
either I want to be back asleep
Right.
or I'm out of the bed.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
If-
You're on or off.
Oh,
kinda.
I hate fucking
Yeah.
laying
We
around
gotta
in bed
change your
after I wake up.
clothes and all that.
Yeah.
Change my sheets.
A nap is nice right after the gym sometimes.
Yeah, but
if
you gotta
you're-
shower first.
If you're in your gym stuff.
Oh, well, actually, if you have one of those, like, sweaty naps, When you
Yeah.
just wake up and
Oh,
you
yeah.
feel gross, and then you get to be like, oh, shower time now. That is a good nap.
Every one of my naps is a sweaty nap.
Billy and I both just freaked out because the computer turned off.
Went to
Screensaver
came
yeah.
on.
Oh,
That's gonna happen
screensaver of
again.
death.
But it's still recording?
Yeah, it's still recorded.
Yeah.
Perfect.
And yeah, I
We're
think
at
it-
6 minutes.
It was
in.
the whole
Did
time.
that feel like a tight 6? That what we
That
just
felt like
did?
about 6 minutes, I would say.
'Cause
I love
you,
timing it.
You guys have all done
That's great.
stand-up comedy. Is that like what your best set felt like? If it just ended and you got extra time,
I don't know. I think
you
my,
ran the light a little.
I think my
Ran the light? No, I don't want to get decapitated by James Moore.
Oh,
You're just
running the
naming names on.
Holy
But that's a
name
good
dropper.
thing. That's a positive
dropper.
thing. Of,
Caden
of,
the name
of,
dropper.
Of,
don't name the show. You've already dug a hole.
That's
Stop
a good
digging.
thing. I'm saying it's a good thing. I mean,
That was an
he's-
invitation.
He runs
James,
a tight ship.
Anytime you
He
want
runs
to
a
come
tight
on,
ship. That's
open invite.
respectable. You know, it's,
Mhm.
and it's professional. So that's what I got to do. It's not
Well,
this.
no, you shouldn't run the light anywhere, really.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Unless
that's a
you're
general
like-
rule.
You're
Unless
you're like 10 seconds away from just finishing the joke and making the last minute of your set worth it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then take those 15 seconds.
Right.
But
Yeah.
let the host know that you're like about to be done.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is
Why?
inside baseball.
Well,
Well,
Yeah.
I have.
We know
new
some people who
views
go
on
way
it.
over their time, though. I won't mention
Mention.
his,
Naming
her,
names.
or
Actually,
they's
don't
name.
gossip. Good job
but-
not gossiping. Thank you.
Yeah.
yeah.
We have a
Um,
kind of a policy on the show, and we try and.
As long as you don't say their names, it's okay.
You can
They're
tell us
mysterious
stories
figures.
that happen.
Or you
yeah.
can change their names like Jose.
What's the next segment? That'll help us stay on track, I'm sure.
Yes.
Okay, well,
Hello?
the segment is weed needs. So we're gonna go around the circle, and
We're
we're
gonna
each
skip the
going
reaction
to.
video.
We're
we're
there.
gonna
there's
have
that.
that
That might be
after.
third.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Can
so
I?
we're gonna do weed needs. So we're gonna go around the circle and explain what weed needs for society, inventions that
Should we
could
go
benefit
guess first again?
society or your
I like the guess first format.
comfortable way of living
Well,
life.
yeah.
I can go first.
Okay,
I'm
sure.
already ready for
Yeah.
it.
Yeah,
So
he's confident.
So-
So I feel like
Chris-
he'll-
So
has got his
I'm a
guns
little
going.
bit of a dreamer. I like to dream. I would say I'm like Martin Luther King in that aspect.
Really?
you're comparing yourself to MLK.
Well,
In
just-
the way that he likes to dream.
I
He
love it.
has a
I
dream.
He
love
literally
it.
has
It's
a
Does that
dream.
mean-
It's a
mean-
high standard.
Well, no.
I'm not
to
saying I'm
anyone
like a
who's
civil
had a
rights
dream.
leader or anything.
Does that mean he has the N-word
Preach.
pass?
Preach on
No,
it. No,
I
that's
definitely
not
don't.
that
Everybody,
long.
some people don't remember their dreams, and
Yeah.
in the way that me and Chris do remember our dreams, we're like MLK.
Just in
Okay,
the same way that like we're
Wow.
both like people, we both
Uh-huh.
we're men. Like just because I'm relating myself to him doesn't mean like him in every aspect.
You're a dreamer. I get it.
I get it, yeah, I'm a little bit of a dreamer, but the product that I've been dreaming about since I was like 6th grade, and you guys are gonna. I know the first thing you're gonna say, but you guys know a microwave, right?
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
What does it do?
Heat.
It targets water molecules and
Okay.
heats them up.
Okay, but it heats. That's like its main purpose, right?
Bill
Imagine
Nye
something
over here
that
explains
does the
everything
complete
extra.
opposite.
What?
So, cools things on demand.
Coolest things like
yes,
a
okay.
refrigerator.
So you're gonna say a fridge, right? But a fridge, like you put Jello in the fridge. How long does it take?
Blast freezer you're talking about.
I'm talking, but conventional at home. blast
And
freezer.
like, I know what you mean totally too. That it's just like.
it's quick.
So are you thinking of possibly like a liquid nitrogen misting,
Ooh,
Yeah.
or
that's what I
no?
was thinking.
Because I guess that would be kind of destructive.
No, it wouldn't. As long as you had
Would
the
it
proper
burn
setup in
the-
place.
The food.
Because like you Dippin' Dots and those ice creams are things dropped into liquid nitrogen.
Yeah. The thing that I would do is I'd put it in the house. You'd have to have a service thing where you come get your liquid nitrogen bottles swapped off every now and then.
It's like a soda stream.
Like a soda stream, but you get a professional to do it.
Yeah.
So then you get your things cooled on demand. Like
That's
for me,
hilarious.
growing up, like cold treats are my favorite. Like when you make like freezies or you make popsicles.
Totally. If you could dip a banana in chocolate and throw it in
Mhm.
this thing, and in 2 seconds it was like bing, and
Yeah, that'd be
you had a
good.
frozen banana.
Exactly. I think that would be
All
huge.
right. We'll take it.
Like those chocolate water fountains. Do you ever think about like sticking your penis in that?
I can't say that I have.
I have
Okay.
thought about it,
Okay.
Yeah.
but I also recently filled one with nacho cheese.
Okay.
It was
yeah.
actually not. It was the Super Bowl before last. I took it
Mm.
over to my parents' house and got a can of Cineplex nacho cheese.
Okay.
And it doesn't quite get hot enough
Yeah.
with the chocolate fondue fountain thing to keep the liquid cheese that's being exposed to air over and over the right temperature.
Yeah.
And it just got all clogged up, and I was like, I'm not doing this. And my sister and I was like, can one of you clean it? And I found it in a Safeway bag, like tied up in a corner of the basement recently.
So you really screwed it up on that.
I guess. I mean, it was like a $38 chocolate fountain thing that I bought on like impulse and used once or twice.
Okay.
So it kind of, the novelty of bringing it and filling it with cheese and using that for like a few minutes seemed worth the $38.
Nice.
Yeah, that's a good price.
So anyway, sorry. What else though? I came up with. I thought frozen banana. I know you said like freezies, whatever. There's got to be like at least one other thing that you need to blast.
Yeah.
Freeze.
Absolutely. This one's gonna sound like a weird one, but I'm a big Jello guy.
Okay.
And I feel like, you know how sometimes you put like butter in the microwave for like 3 seconds and
Totally.
it melts?
Yeah.
I think you can do the same thing for Jello.
It would just take
Instant
yeah.
Jello. And could you imagine you're at a party, you've got the Jello mix, you've got the vodka, and you just make Jello shots on the fly? Like, you'd be that party's hero.
Wow. So are you gonna just like carry that around your waistband like a Batman belt or something
No.
for whenever
like,
you
it's
need
like
it?
for a house. It's like, do you
Yeah.
carry a microwave around?
But you're describing, you're advertising it as like a last resort.
Well,
like,
he's-
oh
he
wow,
likes to
they
throw
don't have
parties.
Jello shots here,
I
but
do
I
like to throw
have
parties.
one because I brought it in my pocket every party I go to, just in case the house isn't serving Jello
Caden,
shots.
what's your weed need?
My weed need is, you know, I'm a big believer in, it's a controversial opinion, say what you want, but, you know, I'm anti-suicide, anti-people deleting their life.
Selfish.
Kind of.
Okay.
So I want to develop a prototype of a device called the waterproof toaster, and I believe this device will cut in half the statistics of
You're gonna make the toaster
life
waterproof?
deletions, and
That's hilarious.
you know, I'm very confident in this device, and I'm also
What
coming out with
percentage of them do you think are
at least 50%, 50%, and I'm gonna get rid of the other 50% by coming out with. Listen to this. Are you ready for this?
I don't know if it would even work.
Okay.
Exactly.
Okay, hold
Listen,
on, I'm
that
listening, I'm listening.
I've already
bet it has
figured
been
that out.
done, but
Okay.
it's probably harder
Solar
than it
panels
looks.
are
Because-
waterproof,
Okay.
so it's just.
So funny.
And then
The percentage is so
you
low,
gotta
I bet.
you gotta connect it to the sun. It's a whole process. But for the other 50% of suicides, I think if we just start replacing nooses with bungee cords,
That's still not
no
gonna
one will
work.
be able to hang
That's not
themselves.
how
Okay,
They'll
so-
just fall.
You
to the
tie
You
the
ground.
have to
noose
take away
yourself.
every bed sheets
Yeah.
out of every house in
You
the
make the noose
country.
yourself.
Although I do
That
have
was
a,
a good
Nobody, you
weed
can't
need.
buy a noose
That was a good weed need.
so I do,
unless you're shopping at my
You gotta,
garage
but by
sale.
the time they make a
You
rope out of their
succeeded
bed
at
sheets, I don't
answering
think
the
they're gonna be
question, weed
suicidal
need.
anymore.
Okay, so-
you know,
so-
they'll
so
have
I've
that
got a-
time to reflect and.
I've
The
got a,
guest has a question.
I've got a real world use for Caden's toaster.
Okay, go ahead.
So I was born in Peru.
Yeah.
And in Peru, the voltage for electricity is actually 2 to 3 times as high as it is here.
Okay.
So
Oh,
there's
wow.
tons of electrocution deaths that are all accidents. In fact, there was a house we rented once when we visited that when you touched the fridge, it gave you a little shock, like just a minor shock. People who rented it after us, they had some water spilled in front of it. Kids stepped on it, died
Wow.
Whoa.
because of the voltage like that.
Yeah.
So
Oh,
if
man.
you have,
Yo, that's crazy.
so I don't think it'd be as big a use here.
Look where
because the
you
voltage here's
inspired. This
not that different.
was
but
inspired by your invention.
Cody,
Think
if,
about
if you
that.
went to Peru,
This story was
if
inspired
you
by your
went to
We're going to
Peru,
Peru to do
like-
crypto mining. That a lot of energy. It sounds
I
sounds
don't think-
profitable.
that sounds like a terrible.
no, but like
plan,
if you brought an invention like this to like South America or even England, I know their power is like twice as
Yeah.
as
we should
as
tell the
much.
story now that you bring up crypto of that meeting that we went to.
Well, let's get through this
Yeah,
first.
let's not talk about
You
crypto
after we'll talk
and
about that after.
mining and
Next,
that.
let's go to
Let's go to Billy.
Cody's
was it
weed
Cody?
need
Let's go
if we're
do
going in
Billy's
order.
first.
If we're going in order, we did Chris, you,
Yeah.
now me, and
Yeah.
Cody.
Oh,
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, Billy, what is your invention?
So it's like a potion
Okay.
that you give to people and they drink it.
This is sounding a lot like Cosby activity.
Well, I don't think it's that.
Yeah, except that I don't put them to sleep.
Okay. What
They
does it
just
do?
stop talking.
Oh.
Just stop talking.
It
So-
like takes away somebody's volume.
Their volume.
Okay, so they can talk and communicate. But
They
it's just
think
like-
they're talking.
Okay.
They in their head, in like the same parts of their like mouth that it kind of swells
Yeah,
up. It swells
yeah.
up a thing in their ears.
Oh, okay.
So they hear their vibrations
They're-
and stuff, and they think they're talking out loud.
Yeah.
And everyone else is like, "Sorry, what are you saying? Like, you think you're talking right now?"
It would give new meaning to the saying, "Who do you think you're talking to?"
I guess.
You could just put
But
like
the person, because they can hear too, so they would be like, "Yeah, I'm talking," and they would like.
It sounds like a fever dream.
No, this is great.
This was
Yeah.
happening to me, I would jump off a bridge.
So try to use it in a setting. Like, how do you...
Okay, so imagine we go back 20 seconds ago.
Okay.
Okay.
I ask Caden if he's thirsty.
Yeah, Caden drinks some, and then we don't get a Cosby joke 10 minutes in.
I don't get it, but
I see
I s-
Caden mouthing words. Caden, are you trying to say something?
oh, I see. Okay, so you can see something's moving.
Their mouth would be moving.
Moving, yeah.
And they would hear themselves talking.
Okay, so they can hear.
But everyone else would just hear.
Oh, silence.
That's called the Charlie Brown effect.
Wah, wah,
Yeah.
wah, wah. Yeah, it is
Well,
kind of like that. You get it? That's similar, yeah.
Kind of.
It's like a mouth over, voiceover.
Do you know how they make the Charlie Brown sound?
No, do you?
Tuba.
It's a trombone
Oh,
with a double
trombone.
With a double mute.
because you use a plunger mute, and as you go, you open. I used to play trombone.
You did.
You go wah 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 wah.
What was
wah,
your
wah.
favorite song to play?
Were you in a marching band?
Not in a marching band. I was in a jazz band. What's the name? A big band, which is like a group of like 30
It's
to 40.
not a
We
small
play
band.
jazz music,
Definitely not a small
but it's
band.
not quite a jazz band.
Were
and then
you
I was in a
ever
concert
called
band.
Jazzy Chris?
I was not. I was called a tromboner.
Tromboner.
Oh, you
but my
let people
favorite
call
song
you
to
that?
answer one of you from
I
earlier.
would.
Wow.
You
My
let
favorite
them call
song
you
to
that?
play was "Gonna Fly Now," which is the Rocky theme.
Oh,
Can you
because-
like play
yeah,
for
yeah.
us now?
If I had a trombone,
Can you do any kind of mouth? Can any of you do the?
Yeah.
I can do the Flintstones.
I can do
so.
like random noises. Oh, that's gonna sound terrible. on the-
Rest in peace to all headphone
So
users.
speaking of, what is your day job, Chris?
I'm not gonna give too many details about where I work, but I'll
Yeah,
tell you what
that's
I do.
Smart, probably.
So I'm in sales, so I sell things.
Okay.
I do sales. I do contracting for 2 companies.
Oh, this is like what you want the world to know about you?
Yeah, but
kinda
like,
thing, like a
on a
resume?
minor level. So if anyone knows where I work, like please
Right.
don't blurt it out.
Okay. No, I
Um,
don't. We don't.
But I
don't do
sell I sell a lot of things. I sell hand sanitizers,
Kaden probably
wipes, COVID tests, things like that. And then for another company, I actually sell keto ice cream.
Keto
Oh.
ice cream.
All right.
Yeah,
And
What-
are you on LinkedIn?
I am on LinkedIn.
Yeah.
I'm
'cause
more
that's
curious about the
professional.
keto ice cream, Cody. What?
I am too, but
Okay.
it just kind of reminds me that I think we're gonna cut to one of our advertisements right now.
Nice. Yeah.
Oh, okay, sweet.
We'll be right back.
Okay.
Should we?
We're back.
Oh, that was a great ad.
Yeah. Brought to you by Bloom, a great app that you can
We
do.
will
just
hear
heard.
that on
Yeah.
the.
Don't hear it.
I don't want to edit though.
Cody,
No,
what
what do you
is
need?
your
What-
weed need?
Yeah, what's your weed need?
I don't really have one, but I did think of a book that I
Okay.
could write for society. So
That's probably
if
enough.
we'd need that, it's. I think someone needs to document the Arab Spring.
Okay, what do you mean by that?
Like write the history of it.
What is
Okay,
that?
but-
For those who don't know.
For those of you who don't know, it was a protest that overthrew several governments in the Middle East
In the spring.
in the spring of 2011.
What
Okay.
contribution are you gonna have towards it?
No, I'm gonna write it. Try to write
Gonna
it.
do some research.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right.
Facebook posts.
I like that.
Yeah,
Your
I'll
goal
do
is
a
to
lot of
gain
internet
awareness on
scouring.
this. You're trying to gain awareness.
bring awareness to the cause.
Knowledge.
Yeah.
Okay.
Knowledge.
Do we need that?
Well,
I
you tell
personally
us.
don't. I don't.
You tell us. Why do we need
I don't
that?
know. That's all I could come up with this week. I didn't have much.
I
Couldn't-
came up with mine on the spot. I
Yeah.
didn't really like
This is
mine.
a tough segment. Okay, what's next?
It's the reaction
Okay.
video, isn't it?
Yeah. Next, we're gonna do reaction video, and if we don't have a reaction video ready, then we're gonna react to Cody's scripture that he's brought.
A poem.
I think I'd prefer the video.
Yeah. Oh, no.
We can play one on that computer over there.
I thought we had one ready.
That computer's kind of ready.
Do you want me to do it, kid?
Okay.
I can
was
do it.
thinking-
No, I can do it.
This one?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll do it.
So.
Yeah.
Is that the video we're
This
gonna
is
watch?
the video, right, Cody?
Yeah.
Okay, here, I'll
so
come
just,
over.
Double tap the middle of the screen to full screen it.
Okay, hang on. I'll
Okay, so.
We're reacting to the news, basically.
I like how we had.
Or just this guy, I guess.
We said we wouldn't do politics this episode, but I feel like.
Well, you don't even know what he's saying, so technically it's not politics yet. That's a tip off, yeah.
Why not, instead of doing a reaction video, why don't we just react to kind of
The guy?
the guy?
Well,
Okay,
that is,
yeah.
that's
Go
what-
Go
yeah,
ahead.
that's
We're reacting
shake-
to a
take it
guy.
in that
Everyone,
direction if
welcome
you'd
to
like.
reaction
Go ahead,
videos.
Chris.
So, Chris, why don't you tell us what we're looking at? What's this fine fellow in front of us?
Yeah, so he's
appearing?
got a beard. The beard does not connect at the bottom. It's just two big old mutton chops and then
Okay.
a thick mustache.
It's salty.
Do you
Chris.
want
It's a bit salty, yes,
Does
Cody.
anyone want to play guess the ethnicity? Kind
Guess
of?
the
Yeah, yeah,
ethnicity.
yeah.
This is a great podcast where we're all gonna get canceled. I have my money on
He's got thick eyebrows.
Egyptian.
Okay,
Oh,
Egyptian's really solid.
Egyptian. That's a good
Egyptian
guess.
is a good. I'm
His
gonna
skin
say-
color is like olive or more.
Yeah, you want to go ahead?
I was just gonna say I think he's one of the chosen
Israelites. He kind
Okay.
of brings up the Whoopi Goldberg scenario where it's like
I was gonna say maybe his last name is Goldberg.
Oh.
there you go.
He's talking about ZipRecruiter. We're not going to do any free publicity for that.
What kind of hobbies does this guy
Wait,
have?
hold on.
you
I
think?
haven't guessed
What
yet,
is
Caden.
yeah.
I'm going to say this dude's Greek.
Greek?
Okay.
He looks very Greek.
There you go.
Can someone Google him? What's his
Greek. Well,
No, I
let's
know
get
all
the
about
guesses
him.
in
I know
first.
all about him.
Cody knows the
I know,
answer.
I know his whole
So Cody,
origin story.
Cody,
What are
please-
we watching, Cody? Can you
This
tell
is
us?
left-wing news.
Okay.
So that's the
in
head of
support
the
of
left.
my
Oh no.
my guess, I think.
Yeah. Oh
We
yeah.
are not
Billy's
affiliated
Right. Billy
Billy's
and this
right.
guy would
with any
get
political
along.
parties.
They have lots of the same.
Wait, what is he?
He's left. He's a left-wing guy.
Okay,
No, what's
but
his nationality? I don't care what direction he likes going.
I think Billy was right. Yeah, pretty close to
No, like-
Jewish. Is that what you are? The J word?
I guess yeah, that is kind of what I was going
Yeah.
for.
I said Greek. I think Greek is close.
He could be Greek. I could be wrong. I don't know.
Well, you
But
know
I
how
think Billy's
like
probably right.
indigenous people here are probably just like Mexican people that came up,
Like,
or the other way around.
oh, do you mean like historically?
Yeah, they're
Well, like-
related.
like-
yeah.
So I mean, yeah, he could be from his family could be Israel Greeks
Right.
or like
Okay,
whatever. You
but
know?
but like by
That
that
makes
logic,
sense.
then everyone's just Pangean, right?
Well,
no.
no. You took it too far.
Okay,
Yeah.
why did I? Because you guys had like that in agreement.
Because there's like
He
an
was
out of
trying to
Africa
say-
theory
Yeah,
and
he was
stuff
trying to
like
say
that
there's
where
like
people
different bloodlines. and
did. Yeah, there's like a few different places where like every phenotype representation that you see
stuff.
now
Oh, phenotype. That's a good word. Yeah.
came
There we go.
from certain
Caden, what's a
migrations of
phenotype?
human. You can trace back where people split off and started evolving differently than the other
That's true. Yeah.
humans.
okay,
That's
but
science.
But if
but
you
my
went back
question-
far enough, we are all African.
yeah, but like if we it was a
Amen,
super
brother.
continent at one point, right? Like
Do you
that's, like, the
think that
scientific
like
consensus.
Jewish girls prefer like people with longer noses because they could like sit on them?
Who's told you that?
Okay, so back to my point. 'cause I
Someone
was
Yeah.
fed you
very
bad
rudely
info.
interrupted.
Yeah.
But so wouldn't we all just be from the same original continent? Like if you go back far, like I understand that after the
No.
continent split up.
Because yeah, the human, both that Pangea split up a lot longer ago. Continental drift theory is they think like another way that some areas did get populated, areas that people are like, well, how did people even get there? That's from continental drift mostly, but human evolution and Pangea didn't quite time out the same way.
Okay.
Can you believe that watching the video of this left-wing news anchor has turned into a Pangea debate?
I don't think it's turned into a debate.
I like it.
actually did
I
not
like
know
Wow.
that there was
I
another
need a
school
breath.
of
What about
thought.
you, Cody? That reminds me of our next sponsor, Bloom, for mental health.
We did
We're
that
now
one.
gonna do a minute of silence
Okay, sure. You want to change
devoted
segment?
to Bloom.
So how about I do this, and I'm gonna say this is our next sponsor, and then we'll cut it there and we'll splice that.
Well, we still need to do the minute of
Hey,
silence.
you can do our ad. Do you want to do an ad read for us? Because we have a new one too. It's called Magic Spoon.
I know a lot about Magic Spoon.
You do?
Do you like it?
Have
Do
you
you
I
think
do.
it
I've
tastes
actually-
good?
Product.
It's a keto product.
What does
So
it taste
Wow,
like?
he's a fan.
We haven't tried it yet.
So Magic Spoon is really good.
Yeah.
This is probably not what they're gonna ask me to read, but I know a lot about it. So Magic Spoon is a
Read,
keto-friendly cereal.
We'll get you
It
an
is
ad to read.
low carb. It is no or little to no sugar,
Mm,
and it is extremely good for people on diet who are diabetic,
right.
because it's not going to make their
Blood
blood
sugar
sugar
spike,
fluctuate too
yeah.
much.
Oh, that's good. Yeah.
And it's tasty. Like when I first tried it, I was like, "Oh, this is going to be awful. This is going to melt in my mouth."
How
'cause
many
I've tried-
flavors have you tried?
I think there's 5 flavors.
There's more than 5 because
Oh.
I've tried 5.
Oh, you've
Okay.
tried 5.
I have tried.
Did you get the
Wow.
mixed pack or
I
whatever?
did,
The
I
5,
did get the
yeah.
mixed
I thought
pack.
about doing it.
Dude, you
It's
are
really
a
good.
Magic Spoon aficionado.
Well, because it was something that we were.
The
we were
only
looking
one
at.
here that has actually
Tried
tried
it,
it, and
It's delicious. It
Can
really is.
pregnant women eat it?
I believe.
Okay, Code.
All I need to
Fucking,
know.
you pull up fucking right
for
now.
a pregnant woman.
Yeah, wow.
Oh, look, this guy's fucking mic muted because he's a little pussy. Bro, sunrise my ass. Just come here now, you fucking pussy. Like, what the fuck is your problem?
Kind of. So
Like, you want to get hurt that fucking bad?
total carbs.
You fucking understand me?
Fiber
You
carbs.
better be recording this.
Okay.
So you know that you agreed to a fucking boxing match. Because you know you're going to get your ass beat. Fucking beat to. I'm going to make you a cripple, dude. You understand that?
People are like, "Oh, just
I'll
go
make
to
you.
the
Bruh. You don't want to know what I'm going to fucking do to you.
Hayden,
Sunrise my ass. I'll give you the address to my work and I'll beat you up at lunch, dude. On my fucking break.
can tell you
So my
something.
whole every employee can have a fun break and watch me beat the shit out of you. You under fucking stand me? You fucking native warrior Code? Huh?
Brand Muffin?
Like fucking seriously, dude. Stop. You're 40 years old challenging a 20-year-old.
What did you say?
You're fucking delusional. You understand me?
Yeah, that gets
You guys
in
ever
your
had
face.
like the old chocolate?
Oh look, he can't unmute his mic because he's crying to grandma. Grandma help! Grandma help!
Experiment that you're-
Like, bruh, fucking come on.
Oh, I just
You're a failed comedian. You're a TikTok bro. Can I just roast you on your TikTok?
Yeah, anytime
I'll
there's
do that,
a
bro.
box, I'm
I'll
off.
just do that.
Like, I don't want
Can we
some
just look at your
random
profile for
one.
1
I
second
want
for your
some
whole fucking
one that
stream?
looks like it has some blueberries or some
Like, dude,
chocolate.
you got so mad for me telling that we need to upgrade your TikTok because you're fucking 40 years old and don't know how to use social media. You're trying to fucking,
What's the other thing
bro.
you're anti?
Just come here now so I can beat the living dog shit out of you. You understand me? We don't have to do boxing. We can do street fight. A fucking street fight rules. No rules. Come on. I'm fucking waiting. I don't got a broken nose for no fucking reason, Code.
Alcoholic sugar?
I would say
That
that.
was
Lobby messages to see if he's responding via text.
Let's see.
I would say that's.
Oh, no, because he's too scared. He's a fucking bitch. He's scared of a fucking 20-year-old. Are you kidding me, dude?
favorite, Chris.
No, there's
Dude, if you want your come get your laptops. If you don't want them, tell me so I can break them on your fucking head when we box. Okay?
No, it's cookies.
Oh,
'Cause-
yeah.
How about here's the rules, okay?
The five that I have
Whoever
are
wins
man.
gets the laptops. That's the rules, okay? Because I know I'm gonna fucking win, so I can smash it over your fucking skull and make you even.
Just now, always when I was a kid, every time I went to the
Do
store,
something.
I would bring back.
Oh look, someone's calling.
Cereal.
That's him.
It was my like, and
Right,
it
right.
is. It's still you can't.
You were
get
the
it.
kid that brought it back?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and all the other kids. I remember
No,
that
I
guy.
would keep it at home.
Did you
I
have
wouldn't
it
even
as
tell the other
carry-on?
kids.
Oh, because I used to buy it on the
No,
plane.
I would-
on the plane.
So
and have
one
some
time
at
my bag
recess.
got searched and I had a bag. Specifically, one I always used to get was American corn pops because they're different than our corn pops.
Yeah.
Okay.
Our corn pops
think we
are
need to do a
made
taste test.
of cornmeal
He's right.
that are
Oh.
formed into perfect
taste
balls.
different.
And
Okay.
American corn pops are puffed corn.
Yeah.
So
Wow.
every kernel is like a different
Yeah,
shape,
that's right.
That's amazing.
and they're soft. You bite into it, and it's like
Yeah.
a puffed wheat thing
It's
coated in
soft.
sugar.
Yeah,
Next
it's soft.
episode, we're gonna try out.
Oh my god!
We should do
If
a
anyone can
cereal
send us American corn pops,
That'd be
Yeah.
amazing.
maybe if my older sister is listening to this. Anyways, but one time I had a bag of them in my suitcase, and I got my luggage searched, and it looked like I had, because the way that they come in a tinfoil-y
Oh, no.
bag.
Oh, okay.
So the outside is this reflective, matte silver kind
Yeah.
of thing.
Mm-hmm.
And I had it all like folded up and wrapped in plastic and I was like, it's cereal, and he was just like, okay, whatever.
You thought
And
you
they
were
didn't really
Pablo
try.
Escobar or something?
I was coming back from the Cayman Islands.
Oh, okay.
And I did show the man my penis.
What?
Yeah.
What? How did that happen?
Just so he would let you bring the
So-
cereal in? You had
No.
to bribe him?
It was while this guy, the one guy's going through my bag,
Yeah.
the other guy is asking me questions and making me take my clothes off.
How old were you at this time?
I was 19 probably.
Okay.
The year before, I had tried to cross the border with some friends in my vehicle, and one of them had a roach in his bag. And so I was raising flags every time I'd go through an American airport. And I was changing planes in Florida. And they took me behind a little curtain in the middle of the airport, and I took off my pants, took off my shirt. I was standing there in American Apparel, tighty, whitey, gaunch, and he motioned to me. He like did this thing with his hands, and he said like, do this to your underwear. And I just said, okay. And I grabbed my waistband and I pulled it out like away from my body, and just like showed him my dick and balls.
Did he
And
look?
he went, oh, I meant like give yourself a wedgie. And I was like, oh, and started like pulling them up, and he was like, well, I already saw your dick. And I was just like, oh, yeah. And then he was like, hey, put your clothes back on. That was literally
I feel like that's a
like
great
it.
strategy if you want to get something across. This first
Just, like,
thing, just show them your
them.
dick, and
Yeah.
then you don't have to
When
show
they,
anything
ask,
else.
when they ask you to like take your shoes off, just accidentally like flop your dick out of your fly. So they're just like, oh,
My
dude.
bad.
Well, since you already saw it, I guess
that's as
you
far
could
as we can
ignore
go.
this
It is
giant
good,
lump
good.
on my back. That's
One of
not
my friends was
cocaine.
walking around Walmart, and she noticed the guy was following her around with his dick out.
Jesus.
And she went and
You
grabbed
text run
the
with you.
people that like
So
worked
scary.
at Walmart
Yeah.
and was like,
If he wants cops involved, well,
fucking guy
get
was
it.
following me around with his dick out.
Just trust me. Trust me.
He knows that they'll just laugh in his face.
Exactly. That's why I told him we have all the evidence. We have all this shit. I bet you. I dare you.
Because she's following me around.
That's just our
I don't
employee
think
of
the
the
guy.
month.
I don't think the employee like did anything.
Come on.
It's just like, oh, like I don't
When I
want
lived
to
in
talk to a guy
Toronto-
with his dick out.
When I lived in
He's
Toronto,
wanting me to kill him. That's the whole fucking point. He wants me to kill him. He doesn't think I will. Like, bro, I didn't grow up in Calgary. I didn't grow up like Poet. I grew up in the streets.
He probably knows. He's just not
I
thinking.
realized what he was doing. I was like, whoa, what the fuck? I turned. Another guy, I was just coming out of my apartment.
Yeah, I'll
He was
give her
jerking
another
off
call.
with, like,
You,
a planter.
bring the tables with you?
Just Toronto.
Well,
I don't
that's-
know.
Yeah.
that's
That's
You ever
a
hear
Toronto
Drake
thing?
song?
Circles up real
No.
quick.
Yeah,
Closer.
music.
I don't listen to Drake.
I guess. That's a very.
But also, I want to point out, Billy had a really
Yeah, I
good
just
joke
wanna
when he
fucking
said the plant was dressed like a slut.
Yeah.
I personally
It's
think
not
he was
very
just trying to
good.
give the plant his seed.
Oh. The hypochondria is the powerhouse of the cell.
I don't think it is.
What?
Mitochondria.
Is that a controversy?
Mitochondria. You said
Mitochon-
hypochondria, which a hypochondriac is somebody who is scared of all diseases.
And thinks they also
What
have
are you
every
guys
disease.
talking
Like,
Yeah,
Yeah.
they're the
when they-
powerhouse of the
You
cell,
just
you
kind
know.
of took it for a different loop.
You know what?
I
do
have
think I
friends.
agree.
I've got another story that I really have to get out of. Kind of like Cody is from Toronto.
Hmm.
I used to have friends that had a house on 6th Street on 17th Ave. It was kind of a like punk house when
Yeah.
in the middle of a bunch of like bars and stuff.
Right.
And one night when all the bars were closing and stuff, middle-aged people were walking by 6th Street by the old like Blockbuster Service Credit Union place. And my friends would do a pee waterfall where one guy would stand up with his dick out and another guy would be on his knees.
What?
And the guy standing up would pee into the guy's mouth who's on his knees, and then another friend would be laying on the ground, and the guy on his knees would be peeing into
Oh, no.
the guy on the ground's mouth, and the guy on the
Oh,
ground
why,
would just
though?
be peeing up into the air.
And sounds like an Olympic sport or something.
One of them lives in New York now and is in like a cool punk band, but they do it to just like
It
fuck
was a
with
punk thing?
middle-aged people would be walking by,
Whoa.
and they had a gross punk house, and people would always be like, "Oh, what the fuck is going on here?"
Just to
and they were
gross
just
people
Some
out.
Mick Jagger shit.
and they just like stare at people in the face like while piss is like rolling out of the side of their mouth.
Just to
Can you
troll
imagine getting
people.
piss in your eye?
Burn probably.
That's a long
They'd
way to
probably
go
wear
for the
goggles.
trolls.
That is a long way to. Yeah, part of me thinks they just like piss.
Yeah.
Could be a fetish.
Well, yeah.
I like half.
The same guys used to do a very wild.
Maybe they didn't like it
scavenger
at
hunt
first, but they
around
got
town.
into it.
Yeah, at first they're like, "Oh, this will be so funny,"
and then every time they get drunk, they're just
Yeah.
like, "Well, time to do the
And they're
thing.
just
You all
looking at
gotta
each
pee,
other
you all have
like,
to
did
pee."
you like it? Kinda.
Everybody stop.
I mean,
Maybe next time, can I be the guy standing?
they're like lying about it, but they
Yeah.
liked it.
The guy who laid down is just like, maybe next time I can be the standing guy.
Yeah, everyone wants to be everybody wants to be the standing guy.
Can you imagine how athletic it would be if the guy who was laying down pissed into the standing guy's
Ah,
mouth at the
yeah.
end?
You got to do some training
The
for
Arc
that.
de Triomphe there.
That
Yeah.
you'd need.
You'd have to have a
it's
hard-
pressure thing. Yeah.
I feel like if you had an erection, you could probably do it.
We'll try it out.
This is gonna be
We'll
the
try it
crazy
out
thing.
next episode.
You guys ever
isn't
like?
the next segment the
So,
minute of
Chris,
silence?
a lot of people have, Wowee.
Wow, I don't know what happened there.
Time for our next segment.
Next segment.
All right, so this next segment is Minute of Silence, where we are going to spend a minute in silence. No speaking, no eating, no drinking. You can blink and you can breathe.
Okay, can I ask something right before we start?
Yes.
Do you guys need to do that send off that you always see at like November 11th things where it's like ba ba?
Yeah, we should have music for
Like we
this.
have to stand and like for Remembrance Day or something.
In the future, we're gonna have a producer and we're gonna have music in between every segment. but
Until
at this
then,
point- yeah, at
we
this
have
point-
3, 2, 1. And that was exactly 1 minute.
All right.
What
There
do
we
you
go.
guys-
That felt like 20 seconds.
Who wants to go first?
Oh.
Chris, you maybe thought about your perception of time during that minute, it sounds
You thought
like.
that felt short?
Well, I've got a watch, and it's just like it's nothing to be like, oh, it's got a watch. Like it's just a shitty like Shoppers Drug Mart watch.
You
Are
hear
you
that,
calling
Cody?
me
He's
out,
got a
Chris?
watch.
No.
Because I was watching the time here.
I was sitting here and listening, and I guess my ticks go every 2 seconds, which I'm looking at it now. That makes sense because I counted like 20-something ticks, and then all of a sudden he's like, "That's been a minute." So I was just listening, but I'm not calling you out.
Well, yeah, it was closer to about 40 seconds, probably.
Oh.
Yeah,
Is
I
that a
decided-
little
So what were you thinking about during that minute, Chris?
Honestly, like just like, so I got food poisoning yesterday, and just like how cold I feel because I haven't been able to like put fuel in my body.
Temperature?
Yes, the temperature. I was like feeling like oh, my temperature, but I kind of like just thought about my arms, and I was like, you know what, my arms
Right.
aren't that cold, and then my goosebumps kind of went down.
Aware of your skin.
Yeah, I kind of felt very aware. It was nice. It was actually like, really nice. I
The
enjoyed
air
that.
against your skin, yeah.
Have any of you ever done a fast before?
Oh,
Like the
yes.
monks do.
Yeah.
What's the longest fast you've ever done?
I don't know if I ever really have tried.
I did
to go
7
more.
days.
I think I did
7 days is
24
pretty-
hours. once.
Even I used to go.
It was hard.
I would eat like one. I would limit myself to like a bag of rolled gold pretzels out of the vending machine,
No, I can't
and
do that.
only eat that
Oh, wow.
every day for
That's a
like
lot
a
of
week or
salt.
something.
If you wanna,
Lots of water too, though.
if you wanna do a good fast, literally just buy a thing of pink Himalayan salt, a stick of butter, and a bottle of water. and just
Sounds
have
like
a
how you
little
make
bit
a
of salted butter.
fleshlight as well.
No, just have a little bit of salted butter, drink lots of water,
Mhm.
and the reason I've done it is because I tried to do keto. Because
Yeah,
I
and you got to get
Keto
into
is our word
ketosis.
of
yeah,
the
one of the
day.
easiest ways to do it is literally just to
A
fast
shock.
first.
Yeah, yeah.
So I fasted 3 days,
Oh, nice.
and so for those of you who can't see me, I'm a much bigger man. I probably weighed the combined total of the other 3 of the guests here. I would say probably close to, because Caden weighs 12 pounds.
That's
Pretty
correct.
much.
Yeah. Caden's
Yeah.
wheelchair weighs a little bit more, but
Yeah.
no. So doing a fast was like very interesting because I lost like a bunch of weight,
Mm-hmm.
but it wasn't even that I was hungry. It's just that like it's very hard to focus. But I hear
Mhm.
that once you get past that point and your body goes into ketosis naturally, which is what happens when you fast,
Mm-hmm.
then you just get like super clear like Vyvanse level focus.
Yeah, you do. It goes away. The hunger pains
Yeah.
start to go away.
I used to work. Well, every time I've ever done it too, I was it being definitely assisted with amphetamines that took away the appetite, and I would force myself to eat like something so that I wouldn't like shut down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I used to work with a bunch of Muslim dudes in the train yard who would do the long Ramadan fast.
Yeah, Ramadan. That's very.
And normally, like, I'm sure it's very difficult, but working 12-hour shifts from like 6 p.m. to 6 a.m. during your Ramadan fast was these dudes, they would be so like loopy and out of it and shit. We'd be like,
yeah, it's-
oh,
it's
everybody keep an
crazy.
eye on those dudes for the night.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
low blood
It's,
sugar.
Yeah.
So I had a guy I used to play football
That's
with who
funny.
participated in Ramadan, and like so we'd be like mid-game and we'd be like watching for the sun to go down, and then the second it go down, we'd like pour water in his mouth because they don't even drink water during the day.
Yeah, totally. That's
You would pour the water in his mouth
Yeah, because
for
he was
him.
like so weak. Like he wasn't
Really?
playing the game. He's
Were
like,
you ever tempted to put anything else in his mouth?
I did not. I just water.
Okay.
What kind of question is that?
Just making
Yeah,
sure.
that's an interesting question.
Just making